Summer looks like welcome to Sarajevo. We have all taken down to the pond. I'm going to see who I can get back. Igor! But I'll tell you what we've got. Layla, good girl. I'll tell you what we've got going on. Layla, good girl. Layla being put in a situation to run with the big dogs, and so I talk about this all the time, you guys. There's my big Andre. Look at that beauty. And he's like, who is this? Who is this chick? Oh, and there's my little bulldog. All right, now look, get this, get this. And I'll tell you who Andre is. Andre is his father. Andre is his father. I could not have been more lucky to buy Eli. And I got him from this guy that was a scammer. I had to go to all these extremes. Layla? Good girl. Good girl. Good. I don't want you crowding. I'm going to tell you what you better... That's how I recommend you do it. Summer's like, what? Well, because I'm going to tell you, it's a little bit bossy. And not a little bit, because I just talked to you, Carol, and I had no idea that Igor was so bad about getting the muscle on, but I'll tell you what I put up with at the vet, none of his crap. Summer's all for that. Around here, we give them, we try to let them learn and be free at their own pace. And then they pull little stunts, so every day it's, Summer, new rule. They run away, go down to the pond, you know. They've got all these restrictions and everything. All right, now watch. Igor! Starting to get hinky, good. And look at how nice and fluid he just flowed over to me. That's why nothing is happening to make me be any more pro pinch collar. It almost pains me to see someone with a pinch collar on someone that's a trainer, because it's like, God, that's your tool. I mean, it's almost, you know, I'm going to think of an analogy. I would almost maybe say the analogy is a bicycle versus a rocket. And by rocket, I mean rocket motorcycle, but... Anybody who's a trainer. Layla! Whee! I'm killing what she's doing. She's checking to see, you know, where these other dogs are at all the time. So I didn't tell you guys what I did. When I was coming home from taking Igor in to get whatever it was he was getting, I saw the tree trimmers by the road. Cutting the trees, just taking the tree and cutting it off so that there's just the trunk of a tree. Oh, I stopped.
I hate when they do
and of
that.
course, I'm just flailing my hands around.
Oh, yeah.
I can't hear her because of the thing. So he's just
I hate when they
looking at me
do
like
that.
I'm completely insane. So finally, he takes the ear thing out, and I say, "You're doing a terrible job on these trees."
No, yeah. I hate when they do that and leave that, because the tree can grow back from the stump.
Yay! And I'm going to tell you what's fixing to happen here. We're starting to get, remember that little condition I told you about? A little too animated. But I do, a lot of what having these other dogs and stuff out here is, that's my idea of desensitizing the hinkiness, because to this dog, there is not a huge difference between a strange person and a strange dog coming around. See what I mean? And I'm going to tell you what, Andre made a little mental note of that. All you got to do is make a little funny move and that one runs. That's how they are. All right, look, I'm going to get my bulldog here in a second. Anyway, as you can see, the lawn people came. We had a big fiasco with Lori. And then you call her, and then, or she called, and then wanted to come over, and then when I called her back 27 times, she didn't answer. I was like, oi, oi, oi. So I finally, it was really only 4 times, but, so I finally texted her and said, unbelievable. All right, so you see what's going on over here. She Andre's got her on the run. Yeah, I've got to tell you, I love this dog. But you see, even that right there, Andre is the star of the video where all his sisters are chasing. Andre is my running companion. He runs 2 miles every morning. Right, come on. So, I didn't tell you guys what happened. This morning, I go out there, and our little garden cart was out by the gate. I could hear something making a strange noise. It kind of sounded like a thimble. I'm looking. Layla! That's what I was talking about yesterday, you guys, about if I only call the dog one more time today, then I'm doing my job. And the time that I would call the dog would not be from right there. I held on, because if she would have turned around before she got around that corner, I would have lost my opportunity. But since Andre seems to be her new boyfriend, they're obviously madly in love. All right, and Andre has no collar on. That's what the cyberbully was saying. Oh, they'll have to wear that the rest of their life, so who cares? And Andre is only 2. Tell you who likes to play with Andre. I love that dog. That dog is, it's to me the prettiest sable dog I've ever owned, and maybe one of the prettiest sable dogs in the world.
Little bulldog.
Layla! Yay! I did my job, and I'm going to tell you what the difference between my job was than yesterday is I was able to add my speed. I had the dog running. If you think it would be possible to make this dog sit and stay, and in any way with a collar, pinch collar, any kind of collar, train that thing to come barreling at you. This is the only context. That's the only context that you can do that in. Andre! So I'm going to tell you right there what that was. Andre has had collar conditioning. So you cyberbully. That was muscle memory. So if you've got a dog, and this is what I want you guys to understand about the collar. If you've got a dog that's got muscle memory, these are the factors where you don't need the collar. If you've got a dog that has muscle memory, if you have a dog is in a state of mind of being at the ready to come to you, maybe that's only 2 things you need, then you don't need a collar. But, and yeah, that is Andre. Andre! But you see what happened right there. Good. And I did get him. Andre! I was able to get him to run, but I can tell you that would slowly, if I continued to do it at the rate I'm doing it with these 2 with the collars on, it would continue to kind of slowly run. Do I want it to be the way? No, I don't. No, I don't. Are dogs and have free agency to do what they want? Yeah, they are. All right, let me see if I can get my bulldog. All right, get over here. Get the shot of the remote.
All right. He's got us all figured out. And I honestly think if I had to guess, I do think it would be easier for someone that was deaf, that had no ability to ever speak the language, to go to a foreign country and be successful. All right, I'm going to start my pager right now.
Yeah.
I'm holding that button down though. Don't you? What I've got here. It's a dog that's got muscle memory. I wouldn't say, you know, the strongest, because he never had a really overt turn. But I have an individual that isn't ready. Big too, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah. It's cute.
Yep, it's going to help a lot with Igor's back, and we don't have to get him that wet.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to get him out of there. Igor! Igor! Oh my goodness! And he only weighed 100 pounds. I got to tell you, I was shocked.
Really?
I expected him to weigh much more. All right,
Yeah.
Layla's gone. Layla! I like those chicken strip things.
Yeah.
All right, get him my bulldog. So the difference is, I do have an individual now that's more at the ready. I really see he's really porking out. Either from all his food stealing.
Oh, it's muscle.
At this part of the show, my character notices her favorite lip gloss. Yeah, Carol, what I want you guys to understand is the problem with Igor is your handling skills, because he's not, I mean, he can be, he's not going to, if you think that I would take him out and he'd go ballistic every dog he sees, we need to get you this new collar. Put a little freeze frame on him. Oh, you silly.
It's beautiful.
Andre. We need to do some new Andre pics. Yes. There's one thing I love, it's Andre. Oh, the bulldog too. My little fur child. That's how I explained the bulldog to Summer. I said the bulldog's my fur child. Even though it's bad and does all these things.
I know, now I notice posts all over the place that say fur child.
Yes.
Their moms and their fur child.
Yep. So I did my job today. If I did nothing more than those 2 recalls, I'm going to tell you why they had impact. And I might have just remembered. Look, they see the deer. Look at Andre. Well, you know, Andre, I mean, if you're that worried about it being a threat, thank you for protecting us.
Yeah.
I mean,
Look, he's trying to get it from the side. He's smart.
no, believe me, all we need to get is a plastic armadillo and put out here.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we'll do. This will be a good video. We'll put him on the leash like I do when I'm running. We'll put an armadillo down there and then I'll hand you the leash. It'll be like that baby cart thing.
Just got to put a long rope on it and like I'll stand in there and start pulling it. Yeah, to where they can't see me pulling it.
Yeah, but then it would be, but we got the mouse to do in the house.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm looking for one more opportunity, Kathy, and that's for going out that gate. I always want to have them make mental notes about thresholds, so that if they're ever approaching the gate, I can tell you the ones around here have an expectation when they approach the gate that they might get called. Why? Because we do it all the time. Really helping with her de-hinkification, as we call it.
She's getting better.
Oh, she ran for her life when she first saw them. Because again, these dogs are unknown to each other. They're all here, but they're not, they've never been together. So I'm looking. You know, and what I wouldn't do would be, all right, get on that bulldog. I'm starting to hit you right now. it's like the little, look, I'm over here like trying to steer it with my little, all right, so I'm letting the pager up now, but I'm gonna hit it again when he hits the land. I didn't even get my chance. That's the telepathy. So there's this guy on YouTube, his name is Christoph, which I love that name. Remember we had the dog Christoph. But he was talking about telepathy, and I told him, asked him if he'd seen my, deaf dog videos where we call them telepathically. Anybody that thinks it's not true, it's true. That dog, now what I'm saying to myself is to be one step ahead of this dog. I'm going on and on about, yeah, and the dog is thinking to himself, yeah, pretty predictable. I go out here, she calls me back. So she's trying to change. She's trying to change the dynamic somehow by waiting there for us. Me and my soldiers. Layla! And that was a fail on my part because she didn't run, but what I would do would, it's not even really a fail, but I better make a mental note of that. And what I might say to myself is, I won't call it there, because if that's what's going to happen, then that's what I'm going to create. All right, you guys, we got to go do a photo shoot. Bye, guys.